justice for all. All right, thank you very much. We got a busy morning here. Welcome to all our guests and visitors and group of young citizens. Good to see you all. Before we get started, we'll go to the approval of the minutes from the December 2nd meeting. So, George, did you have a chance to look at those?
I looked those over and I didn't see any discrepancy, so I'll make the motion to approve the minutes as presented.
All right, I'll second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. All right, well, it's with great honor and pleasure that we're able to swear in 5 new officers this morning. And I think what we'll do is we'll have Sam Bunke, Brandon Fugate, Dustin Kreft, Ryan Piper, and Jeremy Rao come up front, form a semicircle right here, and have the city attorney give you your oath of office.
Scott, use this podium or the microphone.
Guys all ready? All right, so we have Sam Bonnicky, Brandon Fugate, Dustin Kreft, Ryan Piper, and Jeremy Rao here. So if you guys will repeat after me, I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and comply with the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution and laws of the State of Indiana, the Charter, laws, and ordinances of the City of Warsaw, Indiana, the rules, regulations, and policies of the Warsaw Police Department, and the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics, and the canons of police ethics, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office as a police officer to the best of my ability. Congratulations, guys. It's good to have you. So, you all want to come over to the table. Before you join up, here's Sam. Here's Brandon. Here's Dustin. Brian, here's yours right here. Jeremy, here's yours right there. So, Brandon, Sam, Jeremy, Brian.
There's 2 copies there.
So sign them both. All right, so we'll start with Ryan's family. Ryan, you want to have your family come up and get a picture of you up here? Who wants to get a picture with Ryan? Sam next. So let's get a picture with Sam. Everyone, let's get a picture. All right, how about Brandon next?
Save the best for last, right?
That's right.
We'll have Dustin next. We'll have Jeremy.
Right here. 1, 2, 3. 1. All right. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. One more time. 1, 2.
Let's get all five of you back.
Congratulations.
You guys can smile. All right. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Everybody's supposed to.
All right, how about one last one with all the law enforcement? We don't wanna get everybody sick.
One more hand for the Warsaw Police Department.
Or you'll say it, I won't say it.
That's always encouraging.
That's a big group. It's a nice group.
It's a nice turnout by the police department.
It's a great turnout.
There's three different shifts. Yeah, everybody's their shifts.
All right. Well, thank you. That was awesome. I don't think we've had a group that big, and that really, or Scott, I think that gets us up to 41 officers out of our max of 42, so we're really close. Great testimony to the recruiting, quality of applicants, just the whole deal here, and it's really gratifying to have that done. All right, let's start with new business. Item 1 is a county parking lot monitoring agreement. I don't think anyone's going to present this. This just gives us the authority to monitor the county parking lot for folks that maybe aren't parked in the right spot or shouldn't be there. So, and this is an agreement we do every year.
4 years.
4 years. Fair enough. Okay, George, questions?
No. You want a motion to accept that?
Please.
I will so move.
All right, I'll second that. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed? All right, thank you. Item 2 is an MOU, another MOU with the county. This is the one to support the county emergency communications project. If you remember, the council appropriated those funds and verified that at last meeting. The council, or excuse me, the commissioners have signed this agreement, and basically this allows the city to contribute to that project in exchange for those services that this emergency communications project will provide and create quite an improvement in emergency communications. So, questions?
No, I'll move to approve that agreement.
All right, I'll second. Further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, thank you. Item 3 is a Animal Welfare League agreement. This is becoming a very critical service, something that we've obviously are continuing our contract. Really trying to look at other avenues of service, including trying to get the public to understand how important spay and neuter policy is in the community, and Animal Welfare League has a big part of that. We've got a problem of strays that we're going to be looking at over the next few months. And again, our partnership in this contract with the Animal Welfare League is critical. Now, there's no change from last year's for $35,000.
I'll move to approve that agreement.
All right, I will second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right. Item 4 is a KEDCO service agreement. This is essentially for services with KEDCO Economic Development. It's basically the same as last year, with the exception we've put in provisional support of the Accelerator Studio project in the amount of $20,000. So this contract is for $100,000, but the original amount remains the same at $80,000. So, questions?
No, I'll move to approve the KEDCO agreement.
All right, and I will second that. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you, George. Item 5 is an addendum to the KEDCO agreement. This is an agreement to support the Warsaw Housing Revolving Loan Fund, and this would support the land purchase and development of the Owen site. The amount of this is $750,000. This is coming out of EDIT, and this is a critical project and a very critical concern for our housing that we've worked, collaborated well with the county, with the foundation, and with KEDCO to develop housing opportunities for our workforce. And this is the city doing their part. So, questions?
No, I'll move to approve that.
All right, I will second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, thank you. Item 6 is a Warsaw Housing Authority 2023 agreement. This is no change from last year's $35,000. Warsaw Housing Authority will implement the housing voucher, the HUD housing voucher program in our community, and that's their role. And this is our support of that. And again, that's not changed from a year ago.
I'll move to approve that
Okay.
agreement.
All right, I'll second that. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. Item 7 is a Warsaw Main Street agreement. I would note this is for $31,100. This now includes what we had traditionally paid our downtown coordinator, because Main Street has taken over that role as our downtown coordinator. So
That's why it's up.
that's why it's up,
Yeah,
the amount of $31,100.
yeah. I'll move, we approve the Main Street agreement.
All right, and I'll second that. I will note that the council has approved all of these agreements in these amounts, so they vetted this as well. All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Item 8 is the Warsaw Main Street facade grant. This is $25,000. I think each business is allowed up to $5,000 of match to improve the facade of their building. It's been a very, very critical and important program. Our downtown is, these last few years, has really ramped up as far as businesses in new buildings being remodeled. And again, it's been a great program. In fact, I believe this year those funds were all used up. So that's all good. So,
I'll make a motion, we approve the facade agreement.
all right, I will second that. All in favor say aye. Those opposed? All right, Aaron, I'll let you do a little talking here. Item number 9. This would be the pay app for the Center Lake Pavilion renovation project.
Yeah, okay. Item 9 and item 10 are both for the same project, but they're separate actions. I don't think it matters that item 9 is pay app 2, but so pay app 2, item 9 is for work completed on the pavilion renovation from November 1st through November 30th. The pay app is in the amount of $87,417.00. That is the amount due after we hold a 10% retainage for the work completed. So, yeah, with that said, there's, our architect verified and agreed with the quantities, and then I also double-checked everything, and it's my recommendation that we're in favor of paying this pay app number 2.
All right, questions?
No, I'll move we approve that pay app.
All right, and I will second that. And I will remind everyone that both 9 and 10, this pay application are being, we're utilizing the Zimmer Biomet Foundation donation for this project. If you remember, they made a $2.5 million donation. So,
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. I meant to say, yeah, that is the appropriation for these payments, so.
all right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, you want to do number 10 then?
Yes, so number 10 would be pay application number 1. That's from work completed when they got their notice to proceed in September 6th to be specific, and work completed through October 31st. They're requesting $111,041.10. That is again after we've withheld a 10% retainage on that.
Okay. All right, questions?
No, I'll move to approve that pay app.
All right, I will second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. Item 11, this would be a lease agreement with Wellborn Properties LLC. And this is an approval to enter into that lease agreement. Garrett, you want to come up and talk about this? Chief, excuse me.
Yes, just seeking permission today to enter into a lease agreement with the property located at 119 West Center Street, right by the parking lot right here. Mr. Melbourne is in the audience today. It would be between MRW Properties, Michael Wellborn, Warsaw Wayne Fire Territory, and the City of Warsaw for a period of 1 year with an option to renew in October for the 2024 year, if we so desire to do that. Lease payment will be $1,000 per month for an annual amount of no more, no less than $12,000, of which we already budgeted for in 2023. We are seeking your approval and allow the Warsaw Wayne Fire Territory to lease this property for the 2023 year.
So I'll just comment that with the advent of the CARES program, we've got requirements for more office space. We're very limited over at Station 2. There really is no office space at Station 1 and very limited down at Station 3. So we felt the need to move the administration into the office just across the parking lot here temporarily. We do have a long-term plan, but for now, we're going to get everybody a little bit more elbow room. So, any questions?
No, I'll make a motion.
I will say before you do make I will say that the attorney has gone through this. However,
We have one slight change, and it's kind of just as an order of business. The terms of the lease that were provided to us requested that the landlord be paid by electronic deposit. Our clerk's office isn't able or willing to pay by electronic deposit, so we're going to amend the proposed lease to have that particular term say that he will get paid timely by a regular physical check that he can deposit, but we'll be unable to pay him electronically. So we're just modifying our approval to, I think that is paragraph
Just looking.
4 under 4.02. We're going to modify that to say he'll be paid by check timely.
And he's agreed to that, right?
Well, I don't know that he
briefed Mr.
has.
Wellborn.
But what, I'm sorry.
I have briefed Mr. Wellborn, and he has agreed. Do you
All
have
right,
anything?
thank you.
Thing to say? Okay.
All right, so I would ask for a motion to approve this lease with that amendment or correction in Section 4.
Yes, I'll make a motion that we approve the agreement for the city attorney's agreed changes.
And the amendment would be in section 4.02 of the lease.
Yes.
All right, and I will second that. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you, Chief. All right, item 12, HR, this would be a new change in payroll, hire and payroll report. You'll notice that just about everybody that's employed by the city is listed on here. This is reflecting our 2023 pay increase for our employees. And then you've got a,
Yeah, that's, first off, I want to get your approval for hire of Drew Bruton, who is currently a Kosciuszko County Sheriff's Deputy. He will be coming on board with Warsaw City Police Department. And then all the rest of it is for our 2023 wages that are the 4% that was approved by the city council.
all right, questions?
Is that new officer, will that make, put us at the?
That put us at 42,
That puts us at the 41.
41,
That's
okay.
41, okay.
41 of the 42. Remember, we were down to 32, I believe.
We've still got a couple more in the pipeline, so things are looking up for the police department.
Good.
Good.
Well, I will move to approve the new hire and change report as presented.
All right, I will second that. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Those opposed? All right. And Denny, you've got a few travel requests.
Yes, sir. Looks like we've got 4. First off, we have Assistant Chief Bolinger from the Fire Department for a active threat response course down in Plainfield in March. We have 4 police officers. It's the captains and the chiefs. They're going down to the Chief of Police Midwinter Conference in Indianapolis. And then 5 members of our wastewater team and GIS team, they're going down to Indianapolis for the wet show in February.
Okay. Questions?
No, I'll make a motion we approve the travel requests. as
All right,
presented.
I will second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. Item 14, I believe, was there a change made on this item? Was there a different?
The addendum was not added at first, it is now in there, so it's,
Oh, it has been added.
yes,
Okay.
which is just the fee schedule.
Oh, got it.
I can assume Scott moved this over.
This is the agreement for us to, we're going to switch our 457 plan, which is an optional retirement savings plan for our employees. We have been with One America for a couple years. We're going to make that switch over to Lincoln Financial. It's going to give our employees a little more options in their retirement investments, and it's also going to be a little less in fees from what they've been paying at One America. One America was pretty expensive, and Lincoln's going to give them a much better rate on their returns. So
Kudos for looking at what's best for the people participating. That's, we just made a big change in the company I work with, because fees are going up. So I'll move, we approve the agreement.
I'll second. And I would just add, this is something that the city feels very responsible to promote this type of opportunity for our employees for their retirement. It's always a difficult thing to get younger folks to understand the importance of saving for retirement age. And we've done a great job. We've got a good plan, and I think there's good opportunity there. So I appreciate HR and Denny really taking a look at this and providing this opportunity. So with that, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. Item 15 is a take-home vehicle requests.
these are the requests for the year 2023. There were 2 added that are different from last year. We've added Keith Arnold and Robbie Craig at the street department. They were promoted to supervisors this past year. And the superintendent feels it's important for them to be able to have that flexibility by calling those guys in if the weather needs that to happen. So those are the only two that are added that are more than what we did last year.
All right. Questions?
No, I'll move we approve the vehicle, take-home vehicle request.
All right, and I will second that. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Stacy Young from the IT department will present the ADA compliance tool.
So within the last year, there's been a renewed focus at the federal level for local governments to make sure that our websites are ADA compliant. And we have some human steps in place within the city to try to make our website compliant at all times, but it's not perfect because we are not perfect. So we are asking for approval to use this Audio Eye tool. It will be a tool available to residents to use on our website. So they will actually have accessibility tools to utilize while they're browsing the website. But the other thing that it does beyond that is crawls our website at all times behind the scenes and alerts us as administrators to anything that is not ADA compliant, whether it be alt text that's missing on a photo, you name it. There's so many little details. So this will help us to make sure that all of those details are being caught and that we're compliant at all times. And this agreement is through Civic Plus, who our website is with. They partner with Audio Eye. The reason we're asking for approval now is because they're offering us a 25% discount if we agree to use the service before the end of the year. But they've agreed to delay our billing until January so that we can pay with the 2023 funds that were budgeted for the project.
Questions?
No, I'll move we approve the agreement.
All right, and I will second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed?
Thank
All
you.
right, thanks, Stacy. All right. Justin, Cosby Tree Service. Is that
Yeah, we
right?
got a, this contract, you've seen the initial version. There was a change order mid-project, so I just wanted to bring that back and get your final approval on that. The reason for the change was the root balls of the trees that were ordered. The city ordered the trees for the project. They were a lot larger than they had anticipated with the initial proposal. So that additional time and equipment needed to install the larger trees reflects the change that you see before you. So the final contract came to $14,925. They did an excellent job, so we're really happy with the project overall, and it was completed in a timely manner. So I'd recommend that the board approve that change.
Justin, would you just talk a little bit about, this has been a multi-year project to replace the trees that were 20 years old that were growing too big as far as I'm concerned, and a lot of folks had some problems with those. So we've been in the process over a period of time of replacing the trees. I think this is our third year, and we still have a few left. Is that, can you update
Yeah,
us?
we've got one or two more years. We wanted to update the downtown streetscape by renewing these plants and keeping them pruned and looking good, and also create biodiversity in downtown. We had a monoculture of pear trees, so this project is really important. If there was any kind of blight that would come through and target one tree, it would wipe out every tree in downtown. So the intent of stretching this project over a span of about 5 or 6 years is to slowly phase in those changes instead of making it look like all of downtown got wiped out with our trees. So yeah, it's really exciting to be closing in on the end of this project, but tree maintenance is always ongoing. We're really happy with the pruning that they did this year, and that's something that we're looking to continue as well. So.
Right, okay. In addition, we'll be replacing all of the street lights. If you remember, we had some concerns with the street lights and had to replace those. And we're also in the process of looking at altering our streetscapes, updating those, changing the planters, changing some of the pavers. Big project's going to take a little while, but we are in the process of engineering that. We've had a committee sit down and look at those changes. So downtown will be gradually evolving in improvements on what I consider beautiful streetscapes that were put back in 2020, but there are some issues and concerns with the pavers as well as the planters, so we're going to maybe make them a little bit more walker-friendly, if you will. So that's all to come, but this tree project really kind of sets the stage for that. So, questions?
No, I'll move to approve the service change order for planning.
All right, and I will second that. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Justin, thank you for your work on that. You've done a great job, and it's starting to really pay off, and we'll notice changes throughout the next few years. Thank you. All right, item 18.
So this next item is a contract with DLZ, and they're taking a look at the US 30 corridor. So with all the discussion about the US 30 corridor and all the work that NDOT's going to look at doing along that corridor, we don't exactly know what that's going to look like, but we do know that that roadway is an important corridor with our city, and we'd like to advise NDOT in whatever way we can on how our community's values should be reflected in that corridor. So it's very important that we take this opportunity to weigh in while the bridges and overpasses and underpasses are being designed and built, so that we don't get the bottom of the cheapest option that they could provide us. So this study will help us inform NDOT and take a document to NDOT and say, this is our community standard for how we would like the corridor to be addressed as it goes through. Obviously, they have ultimate control over the corridor, but we feel like it's best to bring those ideas to NDOT first. So.
And this was a focus of the PEL. We were instructed by NDOT and the engineers to make sure that the corridors reflected our community. And I know a lot of you have been down through Carmel and Westfield, and even on down 69 through Morrisville and Martinsville. And all of those new improvements and interchanges do have a little bit of unique design to them with some elements of their community. So this is something that we wanted to have a little bit of a head start to make sure that we're considering these changes and these improvements. And that will be, again, part of our recommendations over the next couple of years to NDOT through the PEL process. So I feel like we've got a pretty good, DLZ was the one that did the original draft concept drawing, and we feel like they've got great experience with this type of work, so I'm really pleased to engage them if you also approve. George, questions?
No, I will move to approve the gateway study.
All right, and I will second that. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right. Justin, Lincoln Sidewalk Project.
Yeah, so I've submitted for your approval, Pay App 27 for the Lincoln Sidewalk Project. We're still moving forward with this project. The current letting date will be January 19th of 2023. This will be the third letting, so we're really hoping for an awardable contract this time. So I just ask for your approval for the the preliminary engineering services related to this project.
Questions?
No, I'll move to approve the pay app.
I'll second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Justin, thank you for your perseverance on this project. I know NDOT's thrown us curveballs on this. Prices continue to rise. Problem has been with the bids that we've received not being responsive. So we're just trying to navigate that third letting of this project, and it's very frustrating from our standpoint. But we're doing everything we can and doing a great job, Justin, to keep this going, because this is an example of city working to ensure that kids have safe routes to schools, in this case Lincoln School. And it's a very important project that's been on the books for, about 5 years.
Yeah.
It's about time we get this thing done. So thank you for your work. All right. Item 20, this is the Market Street Multimodal Trail Survey.
Yeah, so the last item I have for you today is the Market Street Multimodal Trail preliminary engineering and survey work. So this is another very exciting project that's been in the works for a number of years. Phase 1 and Phase 2 of Market Street have been completed. The city's been working on this corridor. It's identified it about at least 10 years ago, and it's been working towards completing this east-west connection for bike and pedestrian traffic to get through downtown and connect everybody to the park systems and the trail systems as they go out west, the Chinworth Trail Bridge out there. And so it's just a really nice system. As you go east, you can ride your bike all the way to Winona Lake and get there safely. So we're really excited to work on this very important half-mile stretch through downtown. So this preliminary engineering will put the schematic design that we did a couple of years ago into the real world and get dimensions and make sure everything's going to work well. And then after that step, we'll have a good understanding of the total project cost, and we'll be able to take that next step and get construction documents and find funding. And so this is a very important step in the process of doing this Phase 3 in Market Street.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned that project takes us all the way out to the CCAC. I was just thinking about it this morning, that trail will end on the east end out at Stonehenge once Winona Lake gets their final section put in. So this is our final section through the middle of town, and Winona Lake, I know, has one more section beyond the church out there to get out to Stonehenge. So this will create, Justin, is it about, it's greater than a 10-mile trail, if I remember correctly. It's
Yeah,
about 13.
Yeah, if you add all the sections together, it's around there.
Yeah. So that's quite a bit of progress from 2013 when Indiana State Department of Health gave us $50,000 to create a ride walk master plan. And all those sections have been patiently added to that plan. And I know there's discussion to revisit that plan and update it. But I feel like this is another, again, the final step in the backbone of that trail. Any questions?
Nope, I'll move to approve the survey and engineering
All right, and
request.
I will second. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, Justin, again, thank you for your work. Item 21. Chief, this is an update on our policy manual.
Yes, just wanted to present to the board, just requesting approval to publish a new version. This was a extensive project that was headed up by Captain Beam over the last couple of years. And a number of our officers, not just administrators, have been integral parts in this process because of their areas of specialties and such. But this is a long time coming and was certainly overdue. We had made significant or made policy changes over the last few years, but this will finalize all of the new policies, and this allows the officers to access these policies electronically, which we haven't had that before. It's just been a hard copy. So the officers already have had access. They've had an opportunity to review all these policies for the last couple of months. Just today being the day we'd like to make those policies go into effect. But the officers can, from their vehicle, from their phone, access that site and access our policies when it comes to WPD. So,
Just out of curiosity, how many pages is the manual?
well, it was 500 and some, and then we had an additional policy that we were notified of, so it's somewhere under 600 pages,
Chief, I know when this started,
if it was a PDF.
Yeah.
we discussed the importance of keeping up with national policies, national trends and policies. And Lexipol, the group that you contracted with to review this, continually takes the latest policies nationally so that we're updated. You want to comment a little on that?
Yes, so that's part of our annual agreement with them, is that they will notify us if there's even something as simple as a best practice, which a lot of these policies are just best practices. They are not necessarily something that's required or statutorily supported. But yes, they will reach out to us, let us know what needs to be amended, and then the officers, upon any policy being amended, will be notified of that, so they'll have to read the policy, sign off on that policy, so that they're aware that the policy's been amended, or an additional policy that possibly was in place.
All right. Questions, George?
No, I'll move we approve the WPD policy manual.
All right, I will second that. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? All right, Chief, thanks for your work on that. I know that's been a long time coming as well, so
Yes.
getting everything in under the wire this year. Lots going on today, and I'm sure appreciate that getting that done.
Thank you.
All right. All right, and you've also got a taxi cab permit.
Yes, this is just the application for taxi cab permit for L&L Taxi. Just one vehicle. Deputy Chief Sherwin and the police mechanic, James Overby, were involved in this process of just verifying that the insurance was up to date, the vehicle was adequate, and met the inspection, and insurance is covered.
All right. I spoke with Deputy Chief Sherwin yesterday, and he kind of updated me on this process, so I'm good.
I will move to approve that permit.
And I will second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Those opposed? All right, thanks, Chief. Brian, you've only got one item today.
It's just an agreement with Christopher Burt for on-call services for our stormwater program. We've been doing this for several years. We did increase it back to more like what it was when Ryan Workman first came to us, because now with our new coordinator, we are assuming we may need a little more assistance again. There's it's an annual report, but it's really not due annually, but it's due this year, so we figure we'll need a little more on-call services. So that's why the dollar amount's up, but it's as needed, so if we don't spend it, we don't spend it. It's not mandatory to spend it all.
All right. Questions?
Now, I'll move we approve the on-call service contract.
All right, and I will second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, thank you. Thanks, Brian. We've got one special claim, and that would be the $750,000 payment to the Workforce Housing Project revolving loan fund.
Yeah, I'll move we approve that.
I will second. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. And then the claims docket,
I've looked through it,
had your questions answered.
got my question answered. So I will, unless you have anything, I will move we approve the claims docket as presented.
All right, I will second that.
The year.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. Any other items carried forward? All right, comments, questions from our visitors? All right, I just want to again personally thank the families of our police officers that were sworn in today. You saw the family members and the children, and these guys train hard, don't have an easy job. Sometimes they're out under difficult circumstances, and their families are at home waiting for them to come home. And I just am always touched. The families come, and we can really see what's behind the face of our police officers. And I just want to personally thank the families for their support of Sam and Brandon, Dustin, Ryan, and Jeremy. So, all right. Well, this concludes the Board of Works for 2022. Thank you all. holidays are next. I think everybody deserves a little time off with their families, and we'll resume back in January. And that first meeting, I believe, is the 6th. And just as a reminder, our council meeting will be on the 3rd instead of the 2nd, because the city will be celebrating New Year's Day on the 2nd, the holiday itself. So our council meeting will be on the 3rd, and our first Board of Works meeting will be on the 6th. So, all right, is there a motion to adjourn? Thank you. That's good.
So she just crossed it out. She's gonna have it signed, and then if he's willing to sign, then I'll just get it done right now. Is that all right?